Alrighty, so as you can see, 20K was our floor for Bitcoin. It was something that we were holding. And now we're slightly below. We did drop down. We did drop to 19,500. It's a critical level, not only for, chart-wise, also psychological. I think people, as soon as they see it under 20, they get extremely nervous. And we get quite a lot of fear out there. So I think let's talk about it, guys, because the difference this time is we had Bitcoin raging from 19K to 25K in the last few weeks, right? But it was actually forming a bearish pattern. The rising wedge we were talking about, this rising wedge to the upside. Now we've dropped back down and we've come back down to these, but now we're actually forming a falling wedge, which is actually a bullish pattern. Now, this could mean, yes, there's still lows to come and there's still lower areas, but it is finally giving us a bullish pattern. It's giving us something that we got to pay attention at for when that breakout happens again. And I think I'm going to show you guys a few of these patterns as well to see how they worked in the past. And it's just going to teach you again of when you need to learn to switch off and not get out of the market, but switch off on the market and not take it so seriously. And when you got to really pay attention. And I think we're at that stage now where we got to pay attention. My right shoulder is nearly there for the stock market, which we have been saying, second half of August downside, and slow grind September, and hopefully breakout in October. So let's go through Bitcoin. Let's go through all of those quickly. Let's go through ETH coming up on the merge now. It's very important to see what is the expectations of ETH now. Should we be shorting the hell out of it if it goes wrong? And obviously, if it goes right, like where can ETH go from here? Because it's at $1,450. It's getting cheap again. It's holding better than Bitcoin, but it is getting cheap again. So guys, we have a massive show today. No more wasting time. Let's get into it.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the charts, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm feeling better. My chest is getting better. Yesterday, I don't know what it was. Well, not yesterday, last week. It tried to take me down. I was bedridden for a few days, trying to get up, trying to get back into action, and just tired. So I'm well rested up. How you guys feeling? How's the weekend going? Pop in the comments there. How are we feeling right now? We are below $20,000 Bitcoin again. How are we feeling this time? Are we surprised? I think we've been here a few times. I think it hurts. The first time I did it, I think it hurt the most, and I think it's starting to hurt a little bit less, which is a good thing. It's a good thing because you're not going to take it so seriously. Previously, we took it very seriously, very emotional about it. And now we've got to look. We're actually getting bullish patterns forming. Does not mean we turn bullish right now, but it gives us an indication of when we can turn bullish. And it is really, really nice to see that. So guys, if you're brand new, smash a like, smash the subscribe button. If you are part of the family, smash that like button. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the best loyal community in the world. And I say that strongly because we are all going to change our lives together. We have been through war together. We are going to all do it and make it happen no matter what. It does not always get easy. It does have many ups and downs, but we're not stopping until we get it right. So join the community, join the love. So let's jump in, guys. First thing, I do want to just a little quick announcement before I jump into the charts. My first podcast did drop on my channel. My channel's finally started to drop, and we got lots of content that's going to now be dropping every few days. Very big moment for me. because I'm here with you guys and I want to be here, and I'm going to be more dedicated than ever than coming back to you guys and us continuing the journey of changing our lives and doing these things. I'm coming back strong there. And I just needed to get the other side of me to be shown as well. And that's running now too. So I want the two to move very much. So if you have a look below, guys, in the description, you'll find my channel and you'll find my new first podcast. I got over 3,000 views already, so I'm truly grateful for that. Guys, please pop in the comments there. Go watch it out. Let me know what you thought. I think you're going to see a little bit of a different side of me talking a little bit more and being true to who I am. Maybe understand why Sheldon's been a bit, busy with lots this year and these sort of things. But I'm truly grateful for this, guys. So if you can smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, go watch it, pop in the comments. I'm going to be replying to all the comments later. I'm going to be replying to comments for this as well. I'm going to start getting back to a lot of your comments as well. I want to know what coins you guys want. Like, I just want us to interact a lot more, guys. So thank you so much for all the love, all the support. Please go check that out. And also go have a look at our, let's have a look, get back into banter here. Go have a look at our podcast. Me and Rand did a podcast. Over 22,000 views already. That's really, really, really good. Sorry, I'm not sharing here. Here we go. Here's our podcast. Go have a look at our podcast over here. I think it was really good. It gives us a little bit of an insight of who we are and what we're trying to build here. So definitely go have a look at that. Cool. So let's jump in here quick. Let's go have a look what we're looking at for the week. What do we think on Bitcoin? Right now, we have obviously dropped that level of the 20K. We have had this really strong impulse to the downside, and we haven't had any sort of correction to that just yet. It doesn't look like we're getting much buying volume at the moment. So we dropped to basically the 19K 500 sort of area. But this is another small concern again on the short time frame, that we're not getting any capitulation. I think that's the biggest point. We are getting to a point now where we are coming back down to the lower range. The lower range is the 17 and 18K. And what is the market craving for right now? It is craving for some flippant buying volume and for some interest. And I think that until we get that, we are not going to get the relief bounce we want just yet. Now, the relief bounce is coming, and it can come in a few months. It can come at any single point. The only way we can get a relief bounce is when we really hit an interest zone where we do get that capitulation. We do get that extreme buying volume. Because if we look right now, the volume is terrible in this area, which I'll actually get to now. But, we're at a critical stage. We're still at the area of the previous all-time high. This is the 2017 all-time high. This is where we want to reclaim interest. Even though we exploded all the way to 69, in a simple way of charting, we want to come down, we want to test that, and we want to hold that. And if we lose that one, we come down to the next one. And the next one is 10,000 to 12,000. Now, when do we know that that's the sort of area? Like, we have to see a capitulated, we have to see a really strong volume candle. Because if we look now, I'll actually show you guys. Let's actually jump in here quick. And let me show you guys how volume is looking at this point. Like, look at this, guys. We had a little bit of a buy up, a little bit, and that was a little bit of a decent volume spike in this area over here. That was some decent volume to look at. And then we just had volume taper down. And this is always something, add it to your book again. Remember, I spoke on Saturday as well. Add it to your book again. When you see the market moving in one way and you see volume moving in the opposite, it's a bad sign. It's a really, really, really bad sign where you don't have that volume matching what is happening on the charts itself. And you could see there very, very clearly what it equaled and what it actually, the outcome actually came of that, where it just didn't last long. It was not a full convicted move. It may have just been even more reason just for the big guys to exit a little bit more at this area so they can farm. Remember, for these guys, if these guys are running hundreds of millions of dollars, for them, a farming strategy of getting out here and buying here, makes them hundreds of millions of dollars. So for them, these little farming things of getting hype in, this is all retail again. Shame. I feel really bad for retail to those times, but this is retail getting back in, and you just get the whales offloading on them again and moving back down. But do you see the big problem that we have right now is we had some sort of volume the first time we came here. Something, we came really down hard and we got something. There was some sort of interest. It wasn't the big interest that we've wanted and that we've seen many times before that we want to see. but there was some sort of interest. And now we are coming back there and the interest is very low. There's not much interest happening here at this point at the moment. And that's not good. It's not good that we're not getting that sort of area. So what we do want to see, it may come in the bottom of those ranges. Who knows? They could possibly 18K or 17,800, like that could be the low. And that's something that they really want to hold and bounce off on the areas in that zone. But until then, we need to say what is the sign that's going to give it to us, and that will be probably a quick move. I'll give you the two different options of how we want to basically see it. We either want to see a little quick move, all of a sudden Bitcoin, boom, candle, bought up, and we close in like a pin bar. That sort of something like that, where it comes through because everyone's stop losses are here at the moment. So by sending this through, it will automatically, remember what a stop loss is. A stop loss is basically selling back into dollars. So that means they all bought here, they're holding Bitcoin, but as soon as it hits their stop loss, it sells them out of the Bitcoin. So that automatically just creates this whole chain of selling. And that's why you're going to get the big acceleration down. And if we get that big acceleration down and it comes down to 14K, maybe even 12, like something that really gets ugly very, very, very fast, you then want to see the biggest volume bar you've seen in your life like this, and you want to see this long tail be created on Bitcoin. This is not a long tail, and that's why it's basically turned from this straight back there again, because it was not the correct candle, the correct buying pressure that we wanted to see at that area. So we want to see something like this as a sort of capitulation. That would be a good sign for a proper relief, because this was sad. In my opinion, of us getting to 25 was sad. It wasn't a full bounce that we needed. It wasn't something we're looking at. We're looking for the real one that gives us a bit more hope than what the previous one did, and get us to 30, get us to 35, and then we can start looking at those next sort of areas. So this is the one big thing we sort of want to see, right? Then the second one is the second way that can also be good, because it's not all, you're not always going to get that big capitulation candle and to mean that that's the reversal, that sort of thing. The second one that you can get, the second sort of style, is this basically slow bleeds like this. Slow bleeds down, and then all of a sudden you don't get that long tail, you just get a really massive green, like a huge one, that all of a sudden just, slow bleed, and all of a sudden you get this massive green candle with a huge ass volume bar, and that can also be a really good sign for us. Now, it's important that we do get this within September. I think September is an important month for it to happen, because we basically want to get the low over and done with. May it be lower than where we are now, or the same lows of where we actually were, but we want to get it over and done with September, because we're not too far away from being able to finally go test the main the main trend since we've been on this downhill. So if we can finally get that out of that big capitulation, finally get us to 10K or 12K or something like that, it is going to get quite messy. But for me, I'm buying as much as I can as that fast red candle just goes down. I'm buying more once we do have that buy up, and I can confirm that is a sort of pin bar candle. But I want to get over and done with the low. I want to get out of this range now, and I finally want to find a range of interest within this month. And then I want the slow ground. So this is what I'm thinking is going to happen with Bitcoin. Is there's a possibility. I've given you two possibilities. We wick down to this area over here, form that pin bar candle, or we drip dry to the low, and we basically look at a double bottom. We get this big candle up, and then I'm looking at slow ground up, slow ground to this area. I don't see Bitcoin probably not getting much higher than 22 within September, and then the end of September we finally break that trend, and this is when we can really go test some better levels than where we've been over here. And these sort of areas up here are taking us, to the 30K, to the 35K, these sort of areas. So that's sort of the move that I'm prepping for as we speak, and the next sort of levels. Now, it's very important that the market is just very sadly running on news and FUD and all of these sort of things at the moment. And if we look here, we do sort of have this inverse head and shoulders forming on the US 30. And you could see over here, either does go down to those lows, or we can form a smaller shoulder or anything at any of these sort of points. But I want the stock market to not lose this area over here. It's showing me still a little bit more downside in the stock markets, so it doesn't give me full confidence that that buying volume is not there on Bitcoin, and it's not on the stock market either. Look at this. Like, look how much we had a little bit more volume in this area over here. That's fine. Look how we have absolutely zero volume happening here right now. Like, this is very sad volume at the moment. So we need the stock market to do the same thing. Are they going to hype the stock market up a bit? And are we going to start having a little bit better of the end of the year with elections and these sort of things coming up? I'm sure interest rates and these things should start getting better. But what we need to see chart-wise is we need to see the same thing here. Big capitulation, big ass buying volume or something like that. And it's not happening right now. So it means this area over here, expect lower. There could be the possibilities of us coming back down here again, or we can hold the support area over here. And once we have broken that key trend up there to the upside, and hopefully that's also showing, October, those sort of areas, I think the stock market goes close to all-time high again. I don't think it breaks, but it's not that far. If we still look at where we are right now to the all-time high on the stock markets, maybe 14% away. It's not that far away from what we've seen previously. So there is a possibility that the stock market gets near there that year. And that's sort of what we need to happen for the bullish scenario for Bitcoin to play out as well. Because if the stock market can get anywhere near there, I do think Bitcoin gets to 30K in this year. Like, if that does play out. So we're getting to that crunch time. We're getting to that 1 month away from the major resistance trend, probably the most important trend line for the last 2 years on Bitcoin, and that's at 169,000. So it's a very important stage to keep awake and to keep aware of where we are there. We got the 10-year pumping up, still showing a lot of strength. We got this DXY, which went slightly higher than the double top that we wanted. It is forming a little bit of a reversal candle on the daily, which possibly we'll see from there. But right now we still have a raging dollar index, and the dollar is looking strong. Now, one thing that's quite concerning is I look at the stock markets and I'm like, okay, we still have a possibility of more further down on the right shoulder, right? Same with Bitcoin. There's still a possibility we drop those lows and go lower. And then I look at the DXY and I'm like, ooh, we had a slightly higher than where we are now. It actually hit it nearly perfect. This is a super important resistance, because if the DXY breaks this, it has one more here, which I don't think is a very strong one, but you can be looking at 10% up in the DXY. Like, this is not good. You know what I mean? This is really, really, really not good. Something like this gets the stock markets down another 10%. It gets Bitcoin to 15, 14, 12K. Like, this is the big one over here. So we do know that we are at a super crunch time now. Don't be surprised if there is a lower low. Don't be surprised if there is another 20-25% down at any point in this market. I do think, for me, it is opportunity. If you got some of your portfolios that are still running in, I'm building whatever the hell I got left. I'm building another portfolio if we do go down to those levels, because I do think that everything is still so oversold on the higher time frame, especially on the monthly stochastic RSIs and these sort of things. We are oversold, and we're going to have some sort of response at some point from the bulls, especially when we see that really strong fear, that buy up and that volume and that interest again. We got to pay a big attention, and it is going to result in coins being back down to the levels of 90% from their all-time highs and these sort of levels. And just keep that in your mind. Like, 10% of what I put in that time buys me the same amount of tokens now. 10%. Just think about that. You get to buy exactly what you bought again for only 10% of the money, and you get to build that portfolio at that level. Which means that if we do have a recovery, which I'm 100% or 99% sure in the next 3 years, Bitcoin's back at all-time highs. By the time that gets back up there, you got your one portfolio that's finally just gotten out of the water. He's finally back, just popped his head out again. But you got another portfolio that's actually ripping, and it's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent up. So we're still building that other portfolio, that 20x portfolio that I've been speaking about. We're building that, and I want to be adding more to that now, and dollar costing into that week. And I think tomorrow's show I'm going to be focusing a lot on that. Also, the linesmen, the guys that we spoke about in BBS. Remember, guys, I want you guys to use BBS as often as you want to. The linesman, your offer stands. I'm going to go through short time frame now when I'm doing the next short-term trade and how I'm trading the market short time frame. Your offer stands. If you want to be on my next show, send me a DM on Twitter, and I'll bring you guys on my show. And guys, all that we're saying here is share your love, share your charts, share your wisdom on BBS. I'm looking at them. I want to trade them. And if I think you're brilliant, I want you to come on my show with me, and I want you to come share your analysis and help the community. So come pop us. It costs you nothing. Pop your charts, pop your alpha, go like people's stuff, go love their stuff. Look at all the alpha that's here. Look at that. Very, very, very important. Very, very important platform. They can get tons. Look at this. I'm proud of you guys. It's really, really, really cool. So this is below in the description, guys, to be getting up there. Now, is there anything else here? Okay. So let me jump into short time frame on Bitcoin. What I'm thinking now for the week, what I'm thinking for the day, and these sort of things. Let's just get the right chart here. There we go. So I want to show you guys the two different patterns that have been playing out on Bitcoin. So we had the one where we rallied up all the way to 25K. That's a rising wedge. It's actually a bearish pattern. You know, we spoke about the probabilities of us going negative from there are pretty high. And that played out really well. So whenever you see a market slowly grinding up like this, after a big move, so you got a big leg and then you got this little move moving up like this, remember that pattern usually plays out, 8 out of 10 times it plays out to the negative side. So that was a bearish pattern. But now what we are doing is we are going to danger zone, and it may go lower and it may go to different areas and these sort of things. But we're actually forming a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, which means you really got to pay attention to this trend over here that's being formed here. And when we break that one, it's a really, really good sign for, people asking, when do I dollar cost more? When do I take these bigger trades or these bigger spot trades? Is exactly that, because this, you can even take this out because the bottom can come at any single point. But this over here is the very important resistance to focus on, because the break of that one may mean going to go test that major trend resistance line that I've been talking about. Maybe it breaks it and the market turns onto a whole different level. But it is interesting that the market's looking bearish right now, but it's actually forming a bullish pattern. And when the market was looking bullish 2-3 weeks ago, it was actually forming a bearish pattern. So just be aware of that and understand that this is important to understand. We are forming a bullish pattern here. And it may take a little bit more time, but be aware of that and don't miss out on it when it does break. So please put these things on your charts and be aware of it. Let's go into Ethereum quick and what I'm thinking. When is the news? Craig, are you there? I just want to bring you on here. What's up?
Okay, so the news is broken up into two parts, Sheldon. We've got the 6th of September, which people are not really looking at. So there is a small part of the hard fork that happens around the 6th of September that needs to go well. And then the main one, it's based on a block number, so around the 15th, 16th of September, right?
Okay. Amazing. Thank you, bro. So we look at that, it's like, it's not much time. It's not much time at all for ETH when the big sort of news comes in. I am going to be doing a video on the possibilities of shorting ETH if it goes wrong, and how to do that, and what you can look at if that does happen. So keep notifications on. That video will come out in the next day or two. But right now, ETH doesn't really have a super strong support right now. It's got bullish divergence on the 12-hour RSIs, where we've got a higher low on price here, but we've got a lower low on the RSIs. But for me, this has not been tested just yet. So I do think that there's still a little bit more bearishness. If I look at the charts now, Craig, the news on the 6th now goes bad, creates a little bit of panic back down. And then I think it's really strong interest area for that last week, where I really think that buying ETH anywhere around 1,200 and loading up, I'm not going crazy yet because I know that there's possibilities of lower Bitcoin, but loading up here for the rally up there again, makes sense. And who knows, maybe it goes very well. Maybe it explodes the whole market. Maybe it all is a massive success and it finally gives Bitcoin that push. And we end up breaking all of these long-term sort of trends and these sort of things. Because, even though price is 1,450, it's holding up really well to when the last time Bitcoin was at 19K. ETH was lower. It was a lot lower than what it was now. And we still have ETH showing tremendous amounts of strength when it comes to the ETH dominance, which I'm trying to see where it is. Here we go. The ETH dominance, you could see how strong that ripped up. And that's also at a very critical stage, because if this breaks out here, you can be looking at a 25, 26, 28% growth on ETH, which will finally give it that first opportunity of coming near Bitcoin's sort of size, and not the possible flipping, but definitely getting nearer and closest that I think it will ever be for a very long time. Then we got a big problem. I'm not going to get to, I know Rand's going to speak a lot about it tonight or later on in his show. We got really, AVAX is not in a good place right now. AVAX is really not in a good place right now. There's news that's not really working well on it, and it's becoming a concern, guys, because we had the Luna problem. We got Solana that gives shit now and then. And now we got AVAX coming out, and AVAX is not in a good place fundamentally, if you want to call it. You'll find out all about it later. I know Rand's going to do a deep dive on it and speak about it. But for me, the chart is starting to show the same thing. And I think AVAX will become a good buying opportunity in the next few weeks. I think it's in trouble. I think it's in big trouble, if I must be honest. I think we are starting to now get to a point of losing a very critical sort of support trend, if you want to call it. We already dropped off strong there as well. And I think when Bitcoin shows weakness now, I really think AVAX is going to be one of the harder hits. I am looking at the regions of AVAX possibly coming down to $8 to $10 again. They're just not in a great place right now. They're not telling the truth about things right now. And the chart is starting to give me big signs on that as well. So for me as an AVAX holder, I'm starting to protect myself in that form. And I'm going to show you guys a trick about what I'm doing on any of these tokens that are starting to show me these sort of worries. And I am going to look, I do think they'll solve it in the future, but I think right now it's not good. I am looking at $6, $8 AVAX, and that's where I'm going to go absolutely crazy at those levels. But just be aware, because it's another big token that's showing cracks again, and it's showing problems. It's not looking good. It's going to ruin a bit of confidence within. And I think we just got to now go back to say that the only thing that survives in a bear market is Bitcoin. Like, that's it. It does drop in price, but it does not get wiped out. Luna got wiped out. These tokens got wiped out. And we got to be very, when it gets to bull market time, diversify, jump into all these coins, go crazy. But you got to go back into Bitcoin. You got to take profit into Bitcoin. You got to get back into it, because it's another concern, guys. Like, we believe in these things. We want these things to rip and to rampage and do these things. And they're just not ready, in my opinion. They're just cracking all over the damn place. And it's crazy that we've only been in a bear market for a few months, and they're cracking. They're all starting to crack. The truth is starting to come out of all of them. And this is a problem. This is why crypto is not run just yet. It doesn't have full adoption just yet, because it's not ready. It's not ready to be run by the world just yet. It's not ready to have these things just yet. So be aware of that with any of the tokens that you're in as right now. If market does go down to 15K or 12K, the best asset to be is USDT and Bitcoin. Best asset to be in if that does happen, especially on money. Like I said, you can't afford to lose all these sort of things. And when we break those big trends, that big trend, if we break that in October, then we diversify again. We go back into the coins that will make the big gains. We'll go back into those sort of things. Just be aware of it and don't lose. People say Bitcoin's boring and it moves boring. But Bitcoin's king. Like, let's keep that in mind. Very important. Now, the next thing that I want to show you guys over here quick is if there is a exit opportunity, and I'll actually use AVAX as the example. I want to show you guys, I think a lot of people get nervous at times to get out of tokens, right? Because you don't want to lose your position, or you don't want to lose your things, even though you don't want to accept your loss. I think that's one of the biggest ones. You're down 40% in your trade, you this or that. There's no way I'm selling now, even though it's going lower. I'll hold it out. I'll hodl. Diamond hands. I think we've all been taught that and these sort of things, which I think is fine. But I think there is another way that you can do it as well, which will make sure that you don't lose your position either. But you got to start being sort of realistic with it as well. Chart wise right now, if there is any sort of bounce here on AVAX, it's showing that we go up here test this sort of resistance over here, and then it's telling us basically get out because it can go down. Like that's what the chart's showing us without news, without knowing what the stock market's going to do, without knowing what Bitcoin's going to do. That's what the chart shows me right now. So what I want to teach you guys here quick is if you go, you got the stop loss section on the buying side. Now, what does it mean now? It means that if AVAX goes up to these areas over here, it's gonna probably go down, even though let's say you bought it at $40, whatever, it doesn't matter. It means you're holding the token, right? And it means you want to sell it into dollars. Now, if you look on Binance, and let me quickly just go here to the spot trading, and let me get AVAX up here quick. There we go. Remember, guys, everything I teach and stuff, financial purposes. If you do want to open any accounts, look to use the links below in the description. You'll find them all there. BYBIT, Binance, any of them. See which one works for you. I use Binance for spot trading. I use BYBIT, BitGet, and all of those. I use them for leverage and KuCoin. I use all of that. So it supports the channel, and it does give you bonuses and all these sort of things. So you can have a look below. But you can see over here now. Let's say now I sold my AVAX now. Okay, we've just gotten now to this area over here, and I'm getting out now, which sucks. We don't want to ever do that. But what you can actually do is, okay, this pattern-wise is showing down. This is the area that it gets invalidated, where it comes back in. If it comes back into trend, it's bullish again, and it's strong, and you don't want to miss out on the bullishness, right? I think why do we never sell our position, get out in a loss? It's because you know what they do in a bull market. You know when the market turns bullish, you know how quickly things turn around. That's why you hodl and diamond hands and these sort of things. So sell, get out. But then what you do is you put in, you see the stop limit over here, you put in a buy-in stop loss. This is something that guys don't use a lot. And I think right now is one of the perfect times you can do it, because the possibilities of Bitcoin going down 30% from here are very high. The possibilities of AVAX going down further from here are pretty high. So we're waiting for the next sort of push. Like, we can actually sell here, and you can put in a buy-in stop loss over here. And what that does is it puts you into a short. What is shorting? Shorting is holding dollars. You're not in the market. You're holding dollars right now. That is technically shorting. And what it does is, if AVAX all of a sudden shoots back up and it turns into a bullish pattern and it starts to move now, your stop loss will trigger and it will buy you back in. So never be afraid to get out of the market or get out of losing positions when they are showing clear signs of weakness and downside. Get out and put a stop loss. People don't think about that. They think, no, if I get out now, when am I going to get back in? How's this? What happens if it turns around? Okay, cool. So get out and put a stop loss. So if it turns around, it buys you straight back in, and it puts you straight back into the position again. Now, let me show you, for example, if you look at the Bitcoin pattern, this one over here, let me clear that up. Yeah, this pattern over here. So you can see this falling wedge, right? So now Bitcoin goes up here, and it goes up here, and let's say it pushes up, and it has this little test over here. There's all the resistance. That's great. Okay, cool. Now, what is it showing? It's still showing you got an RSI going to the top. It's still showing that this is still the very high probability. It's the higher probability of moving that. So I'll get out my position. I don't care where I bought. I'll get out my position over here, and I'll put in my buying stop loss over here. This is the bullish pattern. This is a pattern that if we break out of this, we are then moving to either do a retracement of that wave, or it turns bullish and it really shoots through. Okay, we'll never know if it's gonna go break straight through that pattern or like break the high, and that. All that we know is it's gonna retrace, and a buy in here to there, it's another 10, 20, 15% or whatever it is, right? But use this now that Bitcoin goes up here now. I get out, I put in the buying stop loss. So the way you put in a buying stop loss is, let's actually do it on Bitcoin. Then I can show you guys exactly what I mean in there. Use this, guys, because we got to stop this stuff of being afraid to protect yourself and being afraid to get out of the market when you got to get out. Get out and put in a buy-in stop loss. And all that you're doing, we talk about risk to reward, right? And we talk about I risk, when I'm entering a trade, I risk 3% of my capital for 25% gains. It's the same thing when you're shorting. I'm getting out to protect myself now. and I'm willing to risk 1% of my Bitcoin. So I'm willing to get out of my Bitcoin now because I want to protect it. I think it's going to go lower, and I'll put a stop loss 2% higher. So if it's, and remember, you only do this when it's at a critical level, where it's at a level where you know the breakout is very important. And if it breaks out, buy me back with 1% loss of my Bitcoin, but I'm back in the market and the market starts to rage up again. So if you look here, let's go look at the levels now. Bitcoin goes up to these areas over here. I get out now. Okay, I'm in my dollars, and as soon as Bitcoin goes above 21K, it turns bullish again. A bullish pattern starts to play out. Now I go over here and I say, okay, cool. Here's my dollars. Right now, Bitcoin's only 19K. I want to buy in if it goes to 21. Stop loss. Remember, don't use a limit order. Use a limit order. It's going to go through and you're going to lose money straight away. A stop loss order. And 21,100. Remember, I'm always going to be putting it slightly higher. This is the trigger price, and this is the limit, creating that sort of range. And I can go now because I'm in dollars, right? So I get out now. I'm in dollars now. Bitcoin's looking bearish as shit. I don't want to be in Bitcoin right now, so I'm getting the hell out. And now I'm going to put a buying stop loss. I only want Bitcoin when it's bullish again. Okay, cool. There's it there. So I'm in dollars now. I'm out of the market now. The market looking shit. Bitcoin's looking shit. Everything's looking shit. I don't want to be a part of it. But if you turn bullish, and if you break a key level, and if you start to show strength again, buy me back in. And if I'm not watching, make sure I'm bought back in. Because sometimes we're not watching. Sometimes we're not there. These sort of things are happening, and we're not able to get that. So by putting that in now, I can be bearish now. But I got a side part of me there that if it turns bullish, I'm also in. You know, like that sort of thing. So it's just going to teach you to start making decisions, prepping for both. I don't think people use that enough, and I don't think they understand that as much as well. Because right now the market is bearish. Sorry, the market's very bearish right now, and your brain's trying to tell you something else. So use this. I use this for money, like I said, that a portfolio that I need to keep. I don't want to lose this portfolio. I don't need to this. My long-term 2-year, 3-year holds, I'm only just buying and adding here. But use this tool, guys, because this tool will start helping you a lot, especially when these things happen. You see these things where we got this long trend up here, we got this piece over here, and we lose that. Get out of your positions and put your buy-in stop loss up there. There we go. You've got an out, and you got a buy-in stop loss. So worst scenario, it's a fake out and it breaks out. Boom. Buy me straight back in. I'm in the market again. And what would have been the benefits of doing that? You would be big in the coins now. And as this is falling down, you just put in your buy stop loss here. Buy stop loss. And let's say it keeps going down over here. Okay, cool. Here's my buying stop loss. So use this. Let's say Bitcoin now, you make a good decision now. You get out of the market. You start to save some of your capital. Let's say Bitcoin does now go to 12K or does go to 14K now. And it starts to fall from here, and it falls. Buying stop loss, buying stop loss, buying stop loss. I just move it down. I move it down. I move it down. All of a sudden, whoop. Buy me in, buy me in, buy me in, buy me in. So I'm not trying to choose the bottom. I'm not trying to do anything. As it's falling and it's making a lower high, remember, it's going to do this. It's going to come down. It's going to do this. It's going to come down. It's going to do this. It's going to come down. It's going to do this. That's what the market does. Buying stop loss. Okay, cool. We've made another lower low. I move it down. I move it down. I move it down. All of a sudden, boom, breaks. Bought me straight back in, bought me on the trend, and it gets you back in. So remember, guys, it's so important for us to use this on a daily basis, to just run a simple system and to not allow the emotion to control. And that is a beautiful strategy. It's a beautiful strategy because now you're not afraid to get out anymore because you got a stop loss in place. You know, same reason why you're taking short-term trades every day and you're doing these sort of things. You're not afraid because you got a stop loss. I'll be protected. I'll be this. I'll be that. So use it on the other way as well, so that you're never afraid to get out of the market. You're never afraid to protect yourself. And as it starts to drop like this, move that buying stop loss down, down, down. And if you use that strategy on a higher time frame, remember the time frames don't matter. This can be very aware of this. If you're a short-term, medium-term trader, the 4 hours, 12 hours, and these sort of things. But if you're an investor that's only trading every 2-3 months, like you don't have time to be in and out. You're playing with big amounts of money, this and that. You do the exact same thing, just on a higher time frame. Like the exact same thing. Because if you would have seen here, this is actually a really, really, really cool, powerful strategy, guys. It's very, very powerful. But if you have a look, let's actually draw a trend line so I can show you guys what I'm meaning here. So if you have a look there we go. This was the bull market, right? This was the strong market to the upside. This would have been the exact same thing. It would have been, even this move here. Let me actually show you that one first. This was the strong extension. This was us rallying up, right? And really starting to rip to the upside. Now, if you look there, we would have dropped off, okay? There was the official first close outside of that trend. You would have gotten out of the market. You would have put a buy-in stop loss here, okay? Then it would have fell down, would have went up again, lower high. You would have put your buy-in stop loss here. And then would have fell down, would have come up, boom, and it would have bought you back in. Okay, you would have rallied up, same thing. There's the next trend. And you see how it basically would have done it again, where it would have bought you back in, you would have rallied up, would have come here, weakness. So I'm getting out over here. I'm putting my stop loss over there. Okay, cool. It comes down, lower high. Okay, cool. I'm moving my buying stop loss over here. Okay, cool. Lower high. I'm moving my buying stop loss over here. Do you see how it basically creates that sort of form? Because look here. Actually show you here. There's my buying stop loss over there. This one, not the craziest results from it, but do you see what it actually teaches you? It teaches you not to be afraid of getting out of the markets. And you're looking for a system that works 6, 7, 8 out of 10 times. That's the system you're looking for. You are going to have one where it's there, a little bit there and there. This one would have been, you would have bought back in these areas over here, slight growth to the upside, and you would have got stopped out in the same area because there's the trend over there, and you would have basically been protected. But this move over here, we would have lost that trend. You would have got out, put a stop loss over here. It falls down now, lower high, falls down now. You still have your stop loss here. Now we've made the next lower low. So your current stop loss for the last bull market should be sitting over here, your buy-in stop loss. This is for very high time frame, macro sort of views. There's your stop loss where it's sitting right now. The market's not bearish until we now reclaim. We went to 25K in the last few weeks now. We lost that. And until we get above that, we are bearish. And you could see now if we have a little push up again and it gets rejected again, the stop loss comes down. And at some point, you're going to have the reversal trend and it gets you back in. So just use this sort of skill and use it on any of the patterns that you're using, any of the different time frames, identify what it is. But it's just another strategy to add in your books as well, so that it gets rid of that emotion and these sort of things throughout all of it. I just want to see if I did get anything else over there. Mama Sniper, I knew I was supposed to bring you in. Have I forgotten anything? What's happening?
No, not mentioning you. Also just checking out the charts. But I think you pretty much covered everything. And I think the most important thing is the strategy. Like you said, what is your strategy? And that's what everyone needs to ask himself. Do I have a strategy? If not, get one. Yeah, and I think this is obviously a great way to protect yourself as well. So yeah.
And get you back in. It gets you the fear of missing out. It's the FOMO. Yeah. It ticks both boxes. Yeah. You're scared as shit to do it. Live trading. So live trading, good question. Live trading happens again when this breaks. So I'm traveling. Shout out to Amsterdam. I'm going to be in Amsterdam at the end of the week. So if there's anyone in the community who wants to chill and show me around, pop me a message on DM. I would love to. I'm so excited to go there. We're going to the F1 this weekend. So there won't be live trading from Thursday, but I'm looking to hopefully get a live trading session before then. So I'm waiting for this wedge. So once we got this wedge breakout, it's quite hard to trade right now because you're so far down. If you're short now, you're shorting not the last end of the stick, but it is risk to reward. It doesn't make sense for me to short right now. I'm rather prepping and waiting for relief bullish bounce at any point, and I'll take advantage of that. So I'm waiting for this wedge, and as soon as this wedge happens, I'm then going to live trade. I'm just making sure that the Discord is ready for it. So as soon as the live trading happens, we got all the Discord updates that are running. I have the $400 challenge that's running over there. So remember, guys, the Discord, the link is in the description. Go join up there. We got the leverage section dropping tomorrow. We got the spot trading running right now.
We've also
and
had
then we're
quite
gonna
a
have
lot
the
of feedback. A lot
400.
of guys have made money off of the Discord already, the
Good,
trades.
good. It's
So it's
powerful.
great.
It's powerful.
And also,
Very
just a
powerful.
reminder on that is that the CoinPanel charts will be finished updating end of August. Everything's moving over to the
Yeah,
Discord.
2 days, guys. Get rid of the CoinPanel. It's no longer going to be there. It's going to all be on Discord. Very important. And remember, guys, there is the trading competition. It ends in a few days. So keep pushing out
2nd
there.
of September.
There's a few
the
guys.
BYBIT
Yeah,
competition.
there's a the BIBIT competition. There's a few
Got
guys.
2 days to trade. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy on top right now is going to make $12,000. So
Yeah.
go fight it out. Like, that's money, guys. It's money, and it's that can be life-changing money for everyone. So have fun. Just don't use money that you can't afford to lose. It's
Yeah.
hard. Leverage trading's hard. So don't put stupid money in there. Just go have some fun. And hopefully you make some good cash out of all of it. But I think that's it for now.
Yeah, and also just there's a Binance how-to video that will be dropping soon as well. So there's a lot of how-to videos and a lot of education coming out. So guys, just keep an eye on the channel and use this time to educate. What you're going to learn out of this bear market at the moment is priceless. It's worth more than the money that you are going to make, and it's going to make you big money in a bull market. So take this opportunity to just learn. That's what we're doing. We are all just focusing on education and learning, and because it's more valuable than anything.
Yeah. Cool, I'll chat to you later.
All right.
We're gonna go do tutorial videos now. And cool, Banter fam. I love you lots. Fantastic day. Please go give some love on my channel and go give your thoughts. I really want to know your thoughts. And yeah, I hope you learned today. Add another new rules, new systems, new stuff to your books. And let's keep going. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Much love, Banter fam. Oh, my love, where did you go? No.